Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Married at First Sight, Season 4, Episode 4. Now, Chris, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, we have something to talk about because this was, I know the bar's been pretty low, but this was without doubt my favourite episode of the series. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one. So obviously the couples go on a sort of retreat thing, don't they? It's pre-wedding sort of holiday together. And
honeymoon, some might
say. Honeymoon. Well, yes, some might say that, Dave.
Is it a honeymoon, or I guess they haven't been married, have they?
No, it says 17 days. So it is basically a pre-honeymoon, I think. You know, I don't. Yeah. So they're all on this. It looks amazing where they are. It looks absolutely gorgeous. But the characters in this one, Dave, is fucking brilliant. And when you play them with alcohol, it makes for great TV. You know what I mean? Love Island, I am looking at you. So Irina and Zach, Dave, let's start with them. Now, obviously, they meet. And it's probably one of the most underwhelming connections we've ever seen. She's like false smile, Jack Nicholson style Joker. Yeah, hi Zach. Yeah, and he seems quite happy, and you know he's going on about the passion and the connection they're going to have and all this, Dave. And from the get go, Irina is just basically going, "I need to stay with this guy to stay on the show," and you can see she's completely uncomfortable in his presence, no matter what Zach does. You can see this, that defensive. She's grabbing something, whether it's a teddy or it's the quilt or a pillow.
The producer.
Yeah. I need to get out of it. She's there because she wants to stay on holiday with her best buddy, fucking Mika, Dave, which we'll talk about. So yeah, I think it's very strange. And I've got to say, Dave, very high opinion of herself, Dave. I've got to say, I've not been a fan from day one, but I'm still not a fan after this episode.
No. Chris, what I do not get is Irina backs herself to the hilt, right? She seems to think that she's Margot Robbie, right? And I don't quite get it. But to be fair, I'm not particularly in Zach's corner at all either. And all I could think was, Bliss, you've dodged a fucking bullet there.
Yeah.
Because the awkwardness of him, you know, didn't really come across in the pods at all. But he's staring at her like he's Hannibal Lecter and she's a delicious meal. You know, he's just gawping at her. And she even says, like, it's a bit creepy. And then when she's calling him, she's saying, you look like a cartoon character. And he's saying to the camera, like, I don't know, is that a good thing or not? No, it's definitely not a good thing, mate. She's calling you the fucking Joker. She couldn't remember it, but the purple suit, she thinks you're the fucking Joker. And, you know, the only thing that stops her from just turning around and walking straight back out there is being on the TV. And I think, you know, she definitely makes this season entertaining. Her and Mika, I do not like at all. But you need characters like that in these series because it just makes it all entertaining. But it seems to me like she's never quite left the sorority. You know, she seems to be still in that mode. And I think I've got no idea about her actual backstory at all. But, you know, all I kept thinking was back to Bliss and saying, well, you know, Zach, if you pick her, it says a lot about you. And he's calling everything wrong with her. Like, he can't read the signs that he's basically giving her the ick. You know, she cannot stand in her. He's saying, I think you're all up in your head. It's just like, you know, and you were really affectionate in the pods. Yes, because she had to claw someone and then get into the next round to stay on TV. So, yeah. What a bunch of bellends, Chris.
But Dave, she's what we need, isn't she? That's the problem. I'd sat there torn going, I don't like you, Irene. I don't like you, but we need you because you're right. What a strange character. And not just her. this is where, to be fair, she's the perfect example of she's trying to fake it, but ultimately she's made it. So I'm going to tell a story, which I think I may have told this story. I think I've told this story before, actually, about Love is Blind. But one of my best friends, luckily don't listen to the podcast, Dave, but absolute Casanova on the phone, Dave. His job is to be on the phone. I am not joking. From the age of 17, he's my best mate when we were kids. He would literally have women he would want to meet up with him. Dave, when they met him, didn't last very long. That's all I'll say, my friend. And I'm not saying I'm an oil painting, but he had unbelievable success over the phone, Dave. And then when it came to, I'm trying to be so nice, in case he does actually listen, but then when it came to the point of meeting the young lady, it would all go pear-shaped, Dave. That's all I'll say. And that's what it looks like with Irina. It's like she's got a picture of, say, I don't know, some sort of Chris Hemsworth type guy, Ryan Gosling, and then Zach turns up, and I'm not slagging him off for it, but he's a normal looking guy. I've got to say, everyone on this show, there is a couple of great people, but there's quite a lot of regular people who are good looking in their own way, but they're not, like supermodels, men, women.
Yeah.
That's what I do like about this show, and that it's more expansive than, say, Love Island and stuff like that, which is ridiculous. I think even Maths Australia cheated on the heads there with some of the characters, as we know. They've got some of the people too good looking, if there's such a thing. But yeah, it very much reminded me of that. And she's sort of like, fuck, what have I got myself into? Like, I really need to see everyone else. So it was so uncomfortable, but it was just perfect for me to actually go, finally, I'm in. For how long this lasts, I'm in, Dave. So they were the first couple. What about, Dave, Mika and Paul? Now, just touching a little bit on them, Dave. Now, everything seemed okay. Looks like, they've obviously consummated the pre-marriage, which I think most of the couples had, judging by some of the shot. Well,
I wasn't sure about them.
I thought they had, but also, she's fucking blagging it, Dave. She is blagging 100%. It. Her and Irina on a holiday. And I did think it was weird. Irina was making a play for Paul, who's Mika, her friend's partner, soon to be husband.
I thought that was weird. But, I mean, they just had that one scene. And if this was Maths, I'd be like, oh, you bastards producers, you're putting that in there for a reason. But I can't see anything going on with Irina and Paul, to be honest, but she was definitely flirting with him.
Yeah, 100%. And you could see the hair twiddling, everything, and he was getting on with her. That was fine. But these two, as a couple, I'd not questioned them at all. I didn't think it was the right decisions. Kwame seemed to be the guy for Mika. He did do a song in the last episode, Dave, which was questionable. Not as questionable as. Was it Zach who did the other, or was it Paul? Who did that? It was Zach, wasn't it, who sang the song for Irina, which was horrendous. He made Kwame look like, absolute the Don when he was singing. But yeah, these two are not going to be together. And I think, which we'll get on to, when we got to the pool party thing, fuck me, it was just like a fucking wife swapping session, wasn't it, Dave? It was a completely different show we were watching at that point.
Yeah, I have to say, Chris, I'm not sure if this is just because I'm a miserable bastard, but when Mika and Irina are they're on the little float there, and they're saying to Kwame, we need shots, Kwame, can you go and get us some shots? I'd be like, fuck off. And which is pretty much what he did. And they were like, oh, Kwame's getting salty. Oh, you wouldn't get us shots. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. I'm just there is no point in my life, I think, would that ever work on me. Unless it was Margot Robbie, in which case I'd make an exception. But for everyone else on the planet, it's just, there is nothing fucking attractive about that at all. But it's this weird, again, it feels like this childish fucking sorority girl thing where, I don't know. Does that work, Chris? Is that an attractive thing? Or is it just me?
No. it's not just you, Dave, but it seemed to work with Kwame. I want to talk about that in a minute.
I mean, he got a bit annoyed initially, didn't he? But so Kwame's journey was quite interesting, wasn't it? Because you could see that when he saw
Mika.
What's her name? Mika, yeah. Or Micah. You've lost
Mika.
me.
We're going with Mika. We're going with Mika. I got called out for calling her Micah. Mika, Dave. The UK version is Micah.
He seemed to be a bit taken, didn't he? Because he went in there thinking, right, that's all in the past. And I want to talk about Chelsea in a minute as well. But he'd obviously seen her, and he's like, all those feelings came back. And this is where I'm like, I kind of like Kwame, but come on, mate. You've clearly done that to stay on the show as well. Because if you were really that fucking heartbroken, you'd have just walked, wouldn't you? You don't suddenly fucking get over that and just be like, it's all right then. Well, I gave it the good old college try. I'll try someone else instead, who just happens to be Glenn Close from Fatal Attraction. But I think he got a bit annoyed because when they did finally get the shots, and Mika took that thing, took the shot and said to a failed proposal, like he really took exception to that. And then, he kind of pulls her, and he says, that he says his piece and that, and she says the David Brent thing, Chris. She's like, well, you should just know that anything I say is not malicious. And it's like when he tells the bloke about the guy with the little Jeremy Beadle hand, he's saying, and he laughed because it's nothing vicious. So I just thought it was utter bullshit that she was saying that. It's like, well, it wasn't fucking funny. And it was a bit malicious because there was no other reason to say that. Like I say, it wasn't funny. But then she's flirting away there. Or not massively flirting. But then he gives it back twofold. So once he's got back off his high horse, he's wound his neck back in, then he's like all fucking gooey eyes and getting like a little schoolboy or something. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And you can see Chelsea in the background who's ready to stick a knife in him. Chris, I'm like, oh, this is my favourite episode as well.
It was awesome. Because he starts like holding a hand and Chelsea's speaking to a couple of the girls and she's like, is it me? And I'm sat there going, no, I don't think it is, Chelsea, not you. Like you're right, he said about it, but then all of a sudden he's so like, well, I did go to bed every night, thinking I was in love. And he was talking to Brett about it, wasn't he? And it just, I can't even say what I want to say about Irene and Mika. But if you were in a situation, Dave, if you were single, I reckon these are the type of girls you want to meet, Dave. That's all I'll say, because they really did lay it on thick there. And it was really obvious. But Kwame, they're not just to blame. Kwame did not stop that incident. He should have stopped it, walked away. It was the way he was like leaning into her, holding her hand. It was too much, Dave. That is not respectful to Chelsea. And when Chelsea actually has a go at him, because don't forget, 2 minutes earlier, they've basically consummated their relationship. They're telling each other they love each other, and she even says it's not just about a physical thing. It's not just about one night stand. We liked and loved each other before we'd even met. Now we're there. We've gone to the next level. And then he's like, Chelsea who? I don't know who that is. So yeah, it was a hell of a play. That I don't know whether we've seen this in Love Is Blind, whether couples will swap, but it does look, to be fair, that Mika and Kwame have more of a connection physically anyway than the actual people they're currently with. So I don't know how that's going to work. But he was a bit disrespectful to Chelsea because they knew full well what they were doing to Chelsea there. They knew, both Irene and Mika knew exactly what that would do to Chelsea. So I don't know, it's a bit of friction there. But go on, Dave. What's your opinion on Chelsea? Because I want to hear this one.
Well, I just like I say, I think she's fucking Glenn Close. I think I feel sorry for her because she didn't deserve to be treated like that. But she is way more into him than he is into her, and she's a bit full on. I mean, you've literally just met the guy, and the way she's being is really quite over the top for me. I mean, what do you think? I'm trying to think of another example. I mean, we did see it with Shane and Shauna, didn't we? Where we thought that there would be something that happened there, and even in the reunion, they said, nothing happened. I'm not sure I buy it, but so we've seen a bit of flirting like that, but this looks like it could be. At least they're teasing us with, this looks like they're going to flirt with the idea of recoupling, maybe.
Yeah, first time ever. We've seen it on Maths, haven't we? Stuff like this. We saw it that couple of seasons ago with Dion and Carolina and stuff, and Mr. Gearhead. But I don't know. I mean, I didn't get that sense with her that she was being dead clingy. It's really interesting. You've seen that. I didn't think that. They seem quite happy. I mean, the thing is, he's fucking dropped a bollock Kwame anyway, because he sang a song for Chelsea now. He's made a song for her, Dave, which, we said he's been dying to sing that one. He sang it. So what's he going to do for Mika if he gets with her? Is he going to pull another song out of the back pocket, Dave? Or is he going to sing the same one and say, well, I've had this song I've written about you, and all this? So
I don't think they'll recouple, but I think you've got to imagine in the next episode, there's got to be a bit of fallout from that. You can't be flirting that much. And like I say, Mika was, I mean, Paul didn't seem like he gave a shit, by the way.
Yeah.
About the flirting. But, I would say if you have it on a scale of 1 to 10, Mika's maybe flirting at a 5 or a 6. But I thought Kwame was, flirting on a 7 or an 8 level.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave, you know that. If you were doing that, and your partner was there, you were flirting, or I was with a girl there, that is not so disrespectful. And it's sort of like, well, what's your game? You get, Dave, I'm getting a whack on the side of the head if I was up to that sort of thing. Mate, I don't know. I mean, I did like the. Right,
you seen the videos, those like meme-like videos, those viral videos that goes around, and there's the guy filming, some rather attractive young ladies on the beach, and he's just panning the video around. It's to his wife, who's just looking straight at him.
Yeah, fucking fuming. It's a fucking classic, that. I told the story how I got caught out doing that day, didn't I, with the sunglasses. But anyway.
Is that when you forget that you're not wearing sunglasses anymore?
Yeah. I got whacked on the head. But I did the old action man. I didn't move my head, but my eyes moved. And then she went, whack, and went, you haven't got your glasses on, dick. I was like, oh, yeah. So I've been on the wrong end of that one, Dave. I was trying stealthily, not, to look, but not look, if you get me. But it just backfired. Yeah. Anyway, it's completely backfired. But no, I don't know where this goes. They said there's got to be a fallout. There's got to be an explanation. I do like the fact that they're all fucking getting hammered on tequila shots and that. That is definitely changing. It's loosening everyone up anyway, so it is good. But what did you think, Dave? One of the couples, which was really interesting and also pretty sad, Jacqueline and Marshall. I mean, she started off by saying, I like guys who are 6'5". I had this big long list of guys, but none of them are Marshall. She went, but none of them are him. It's a connection.
Marshall's not any of those things.
Completely fucking thrown under the bus. So they support Marshall's there, like, all right. But they did good connection. There's something there that she's carrying, isn't there? There's a lot of baggage. She said, I don't want to go back to the way I was. It's obviously something to do with her personal life, which is obviously don't, there's no need to disclose that, but she just seems like she's a bit of an, emotionally, she's just not there. And I don't think these have got a chance. I think, I don't know what's going on. I don't think she has to explain it to us if it's something really bad, but watching it, just looks like she shouldn't be on this show. It's got to the crunch stage of the experiment, and she's sort of like thinking, what am I doing? So I don't know what she's saying about I don't want to go back to being that person. We can't tell that, but yeah, I did feel sorry for her.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just think there's something obviously not right there. When she's saying, I don't want to go back to how I used to be. I mean, is it just me? It kind of sounds like maybe she's a bit of a wild child, And
yeah,
I don't know. To me, it seemed less about Marshall and more just, she is carrying that baggage at the minute, and so that just overspilled a bit. I'd say she does. As he looks a little bit like a young Will Smith, doesn't he? He said I think it was Tiffany who said he looks like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think these have got a chance at all.
No, I can't disagree with you there, Dave, at all. And then the one couple who we should be cheering from the rooftops, very Ollie and Tani. I keep using the using the example.
That was my line.
Sorry. But it's Brett and Tiffany. They're so loved up. I've got to say, Dave, very, very risque little kissing scene there, wasn't there? There was a bit of action going on. The camera seemed to be zoomed in all over the place. Yeah.
You know which VHS video I'm thinking of right now when that was going on there?
Go on.
Well, it was the certain Stallone movie that we reviewed a few weeks ago. His early I need $200 to get me off the streets soft porn movie, but and he's like, come on, get on top. I'm like, shouldn't we be asking the camera people to leave? I was getting a little bit saucy, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. I was like, oh right, they definitely need to, you're right, they definitely need to get out of there because there's going to be things moving and growing and things we don't need to see on a Netflix TV show. So they definitely look compatible. But again, Dave, you're right, we should be celebrating them. But it's one of them because they don't bring the drama. It's like, yeah, whatever, move on. We know these two are going to be set. These are going to be the success story. So I'm pleased we've got a couple who genuinely look like they're in love. And I actually believe that they're in love at this present time. So I'm happy for them there. I can't see anything going wrong in their relationship. Famous Chris last words, but there you go.
No, they look set, don't they? I mean, these are the sacrificial couple. These get the Ollie and Tani award. They have to be there to lure people in to think, yeah, system works.
Yeah.
What are they talking about? What Chris and Dave talking about? The producers are not devilishly fucking evil bastards, just trying to fuck people up for our entertainment. This is genuine love, this is. So you have to have that couple there. To make us believe in the process, but it's not very interesting ultimately, is it? It's not why we watch this shit, really, is it?
No, not really. we are middle-aged, old moaning bastards, Dave. Let's be honest, but that's what we love. This is what we love: being miserable and talking about these absolute no marks. So yeah, I'm dead pleased with this. I'm dead pleased we've got something to talk about. That was genuine. We weren't, sniffing around for scraps or anything. This felt like a bit of a Love Island maths type episode where I was like, oh, yes, I need to speak to Dave. It's the first time. So I'm dead pleased, mate. And I know we're doing this a bit quicker than we did episode 2 to 3. So we said that, didn't we? If we watch him, we can get on. We will get this boxed off. We know it's out there and the reunions have been on. And I've read stuff about the disastrous way it was actually shown, the reunion. I think it was shown live or something. It was a disaster. So I'm sort of looking forward to watching that mess.
When you just switch off and stop listening to me, I did a whole piece about that.
Yeah, I thought you did, Dave. One of the other episodes. We're just repeating ourselves, Dave.
But it's obvious, isn't it? I mean, Netflix. I mean, actually, did you know they've just stopped posting out DVDs? I mean, who fucking knew that people were still ordering DVDs off Netflix for the last few years?
Oh my God.
Yeah, obviously, when you've got standard content, you've just got a massive file that you can copy to different locations in the world. That is so different to putting on a live broadcast. You think the technology is just completely different. So it's not a massive surprise that they fucked it up. But also, I guess it does it makes me think, because Amazon Prime you were getting the football, weren't you? And I think, kudos to them. They obviously did that right, and Netflix completely fucked it up. But you know what? They're fucking minted. They've got enough money. I'm sure they'll throw money at the problem and they'll solve it eventually. But yeah, it was a bit of a fuck up.
Just though, I maybe need to listen to you a bit more, Dave. But anyway, then again, after all this time, why bother? Yeah, why bother? So if you do want to listen to more of Dave, and maybe you'll pick up on more of the stuff that I actually don't listen to, get over to Chris and Dave's reality TV cast on Facebook. Come and join us over there, guys. 590 friends over there, Dave. So we're 10 away from 600. Close. We're getting there, guys. And then the next step, 700. Don't know what we're going to do at 1,000 if we ever get there, but there'll be something definitely. So please get over there. Big thanks to Charlene as always for moderating the page for us. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. Please follow us on social media @cdrealitycast. And if you do want to support us, get over to patreon.com/cdrealitycast. So today's roll call of honor is Larissa, Helen, Alex, Macy, Nicola, Emma, Fiona, Cassie, Megan, Kate, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Chloe, Noreen, Joanna, Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Susan, Hennessy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Ken Gustafson. So thank you so much, guys, for your support. Absolute class support. We really appreciate it. So, mate, we get a couple of days off, but we're back. Episode 5. I'm actually really excited to watch it. So I hope it carries on in that vein for the rest of the series.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you said about, wanting to jump on and record, and there's that as well. But this is the first episode, I think, where I'm genuinely, okay, I really want to watch the next episode now.
Yeah.
So I hope this series is going to really take off now. But let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Hope so, mate. So anyway, thank you, mate. And I'll see you next time.
Bye now.